What's going on, all my fellow bait chuckers out there? My name is Michael. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy holiday schedules to click on the video and spend some time with us here in the bait shop. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I am already counting the days until that spring pre-spawn bite. Oh, can't wait. But before we jump into today's video, there are two big announcements I really want to share with the community. The first one is that LureWorks has a brand new website. It's shoplureworks.com. I'll put a link to it down below in the description. They did not announce this. I don't know why. Nothing's on their social media, so I'm not sure what's going on over there at LureWorks, but they do have a new website up. Also, news in the world of MF. I did get to speak to Jeff and his wife, and turns out that they're finally getting back on their feet and looks like they are not going to retire after all. They are slowly coming up to speed. They'll be producing more and more colors. Awesome to hear that they are still going to stick with us for a little while longer, because I think we're all really worried about them. So awesome to hear that they're going to stick around. And now let's get back to today's video and making some baits. If you remember, we started up our live streams about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. And in that live stream, we were showing off the holiday mold by Epic Bait Molds. Someone from the live chat suggested we use pink glitter. My wife came in angry at me after the live stream because apparently in the chat, the person who recommended the pink was a 5-year-old daughter of one of the viewers. I believe it was Family Fish and Fun. So of course now I have my wife angry at me, and I feel guilty for poking fun at a 5-year-old. And so, well, my wife decided to track them down on Instagram. We got a hold of them, and we offered to not only send them the baits that we did in that live stream, but we also offered to make up some custom baits. Turns out that him and his daughter like to watch the channel together, so we thought to make it up, we would do a special video just for her. He said they have smallmouth in their backyard, and they like the fire tiger pattern and things around the 3 to 4 inch range, which is awesome because we have a brand new mold here to the channel, and that is the 3.2 inch Epic Slouch. So we are going to whip up some 3.2 Epic Slouches with some custom tails and complementary tail mold in the fire tiger pattern just for y'all. And then we're going to send these baits along with all those others to your house just in time for Christmas. So this video is really for the Family Fish and Fun family, but hopefully the rest of the community will enjoy this as well. I don't have any colors to throw on the screen for you today because we are just going to completely wing it. I've never done a fire tiger pattern before, so we are just going to have some fun today here in the shop. Come on, let's go. I already got Adam's SDG multi-block warming up on the hot plate. Time to get pouring some baits. So we're going to go ahead and throw our molds onto the hot plate along with the multi-block to warm up and kind of get the chill off. Now, using the LureWorks website I mentioned earlier, I went ahead and picked out 2 colors that we're going to use today to make this fire tiger pattern. The first one for the back is going to be lime truce. I think this is going to look a little more transparent than the fluorescent lime, which is the other green that I have from LureWorks. So we're going to go with lime truce. Going to add some black flake in the back, as well as some Endor hollow shift powder to give it just a little bit of flair, just a little bit there in the back. That's going to be the back for our fire tiger pattern. For the belly color, we are going to use, well, none other than Fire Tiger Orange. Perfect color, another semi-opaque fluorescent color from LureWorks. I think it'll match up perfectly with the lime truce. And I'm going to add in some Triton siren scales, which is why I wanted that semi-opaque in the belly there. So hopefully we'll get a nice fluorescent orange belly with a little bit of flash. Now we can't do a fire tiger pattern without some chartreuse. So for the tail mold, we are going to shoot some transparent fluorescent chartreuse tails, and we are going to add a ton of disco bling with some silver holographic flake. I want some super sparkly tails. I don't know how this is all going to turn out. I think it should look pretty good with the combinations we're doing, but it's only one way to find out. So let's get going. All right, here we are. Fresh cup of plastisol right out of the microwave. ready to go. Well, fresh half of cup. Starting it off, we're going to go with the transparent fluorescent chartreuse. We are going to do 15 to 20 drops in this half a cup. There we go. Super fluorescent, super transparent, awesome. And then we are going to load it up with the 0.15 silver holographic flake. We are going to go in at 1 full 16th for this half a cup. I'm going to give that a stir, and that is going to give us super blingy tails. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead, and this is it. This is the recipe. We're going to vacuum it up. We're going to get all of those air bubbles out of there, and then we will be ready to inject some transparent tails. Alright. Now we are all vacuumed out, up to temperature, ready to rock. Alright, transparent fluorescent chartreuse tails. I don't expect this to use very much plastic at all. We will make sure to top it off, and just as expected, not much plastic used at all. Gosh, look at that color though, huh? Transparent fluorescent chartreuse. Such an awesome color. My oh my. Yep, look at that puck. Awesome. Alright, who is ready to see some tails? I know I am. Look at that sprue. Awesome transparent fluorescent chartreuse. They want to come out on this side. There we go. Look at that. Woo-wee. Love the transparent fluorescent chartreuse. Those are going to make for some awesome tails on the back of our fire tiger. I'm going to go ahead and get these clipped off. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more rounds so we have a grouping of tails. Look at that sparkle in there. Awesome. Alright. I will whip up a few more tails, and then I'll meet you over at the mixing station as we prep to mix the belly and the back colors. Now, before we get into making the belly and the back colors, I want to go ahead and get these tails loaded up into the mold here. Now, you could use some worm oil to help with this. I have tended to lean against using worm oil. I just feel like that makes a big mess. For certain molds, it's unavoidable. You absolutely have to have worm oil. But for this mold in particular, it looks like everything's going just fine. And if I can avoid it, I like to avoid using the worm oil. This way I get a nice good seat, and I'm not going to have to worry about bubbles, and I'm going to get a nice clean overmold of the tail. This can be a little bit time consuming, so you definitely have to factor that into your mold making, but it makes for some amazing looking baits. And there you go. Last step is to line up the top portion of the mold and slowly bring it down into place. Alright, and there we go, and that's what you want, a nice tight seal all the way across. We're going to keep this closed. We will stick it back onto the hot plate, keep it warm and ready for injection. Alright, here we are with another fresh full cup of plastisol, and we are going to start with the belly color first. So don't know what we're dealing with here, so we're going to start off 10 drops at a time. Lureworks Fire Tiger Orange. Alright, we'll stir this in. We'll see what this is looking like. There's a lot of air bubbles in there now, so hard to gauge, but very, very translucent right out the gate with just 10. So I think we're going to go straight to 30. So there's 20 more drops, making 30 drops total. All right, there we go. We can see semi-transparent belly there. Let's add the siren scales in next and see how we're doing. We're gonna go with the Triton siren scales. So I wanna add those in. I wanna make sure we're not gonna lose visibility. So we're gonna go hefty. Hefty, 2 scoops of Triton. 2 big scoops of Triton. Alright, that's what I like to see. Now it's clumping up a little bit. That will break up the more we heat it up. Once we vacuum it out, especially, the flakes will really start to come alive. I love how they're really sparkly when it comes to the surface. I think we may leave it just like that. I kind of like that. I don't know if I want to go much heavier. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and vacuum this out. We'll warm it up first, get it vacuumed, and that should leave us with a nice semi-opaque bright orange belly for our Fire Tiger pattern. Alright, here we are, yet another cup of plastisol for the back. Bubbles and all, don't worry, it's only because I shook the container, even though the 242 says you're not supposed to. It's alright. We're going to vacuum it all out. It's going to be just fine. Alright. Now, going in on the Lime Truce 186, then we're going to start with 20 drops. Give this a stir. Definitely semi-opaque. And we want the back to be a little more solid than the belly. So I think we are going to go another 20 actually. Alright, I like where that's taking us here. Really liking that color. Now I want to get the black flake in there to see what that looks like because it's going to change things up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and do 1 full 16th of a teaspoon of the 0.15 black flake. These are small baits, so I want some small flake in there just to give it some texture. It's going to change up the color just a little bit. It's going to pepper it up. There we go. See there? We got that peppered. It darkened up that chartreuse just a little bit. I'm really liking where that's at. You know, I think I might want to go 10 more drops. Really thicken up that back. So we're at 50 drops total. I'm really liking what that looks like. I think it's going to get transparent towards the edges as that back thins out, but then it's going to get thick towards the middle there where it meets the orange. And lastly, we're going to throw in a little bit of the Endor Hollow Shift. Now, we're not going to make it a full Hollow Shift color. We're just going to put a dash in just to give the top color some flair. Okay? So we're just going to put... That's like a half. You can see I still got my half of a 16th is kind of full. It's more like a quarter of a 16th. I'm just mixing a little bit in to give it some flair. I think we're okay to go the full half, but I'm not going any more than that. The Endor does have some gold in it, which I don't really want to bring out the gold necessarily. It'll complement the Triton in the belly, but it's really the green and the blue that I want to showcase as part of this back. So here we got a nice peppered back. This is going to be awesome. So next is to vacuum this out. We'll get this vacuumed, heated up, matched up with the belly color, and we will be ready to inject our molds. Alright, we are at 330 right there. We're looking 320 over here. I think we are close enough to shoot. Alright, so here we are, both cups of plastisol vacuumed out, ready to go. We got Adam's multi-block, super hot, also ready to go. Remember, boys and girls, Don't forget to glove up. All right, here we go. Fire Tiger in the Slouch. Let's give this a shot. All right. Doesn't feel like it uses hardly any plastic at all. All right. Well, you got that Fire Tiger orange, Lime Truce green. Looks like a pretty good pairing to me. Okay, now taking a look at the plugs, that looks awesome. That looks like a very bright fluorescent orange, a nice neon green there. That looks like a really sweet combo. I think it would do well. My concern here though is if you take a look at the mold, it looks almost pink when it blends with the green, and I'm worried that this is going to end up way back like my color matching of the Sour Patch Watermelon Kids. I'm hoping that this will turn out okay. I hope we still get the orange and it's not as pink, which might not necessarily be a bad thing. I guess we'll take a look at how it looks like in the baits. But again, when we take a look at these here combined, I mean, that looks phenomenal as two individual colors. Let's see what it looks like when we delaminate these. All right, here we go. 2.8 Epic Slouch, the moment y'all have been waiting for. That is what the sprues look like. Do we have a successful Fire Tiger laminate? Let's take a, oh, hey now. Hey now. Look at that. Wow, not too shabby. Not too shabby. With that beautiful transparent chartreuse tail. I'd say those turned out pretty good. We got that nice orange belly. I mean, it could pass as a sunfish, bluegill, Fire Tiger. Now, we may have to shoot this pattern more in some different baits. Look at that's pretty awesome. Let's get one out of the mold there. I mean, that's awesome. You really do get that nice green. The orange does bring out a little more yellow, but I like the translucency of that belly, the way those siren scales. They're all different sizes and shapes. That's what I really dig about the siren scales. And then it just blends into that transparent chartreuse tail, which is always a killer. A lot of those sunfish, they have those chartreuse tips on the tail. That rolling through the water is going to get bit. There we go. There's a couple of them separated from the sprues. A little school of Fire Tiger Slouches. That is an awesome color. Woo! Good stuff. Fire Tiger Epic Slouches. All right, I'm going to inject a couple more rounds of these. We will get you some close-up shots of these beautiful baits, and we will see you back over on the workbench. And there you have it, the 3.2-inch Epic Slouch. Awesome little tiny bait. I think this Fire Tiger pattern turned out awesome. One of the cool things about having a separate tail mold and a body mold is that you can shoot the tail in a medium or soft plastisol to get all of that action, and then you can pour the body in a much firmer plastisol for when you're rigging your hooks and your jig heads through. I obviously am going to throw this on a 6 cents treble head, probably also some Megabass Okashira screw heads. I will link that tackle down below in the description, but there it is, 3.2-inch Epic Slouch. Collab between Nate Marling and Epic Bait Molds. There's also a smaller micro version of this available now as well that was recently released at the same time as the holiday mold and the dice mold. So make sure to head on over to epicbaitmolds.com, pick you up an Epic Slouch mold if this is something that interests you. I mean, this is a bite-sized little snack. I don't see how fish are going to resist it. It's already a proven fish catcher. It's a new mold to me here in the shop, so I'm excited to throw this in some of the smaller ponds. And I mean, even out at the Delta, this is going to catch fish. So there you go. Family fishing fun. I hope you all enjoyed the video because this was specially for you. And the rest of you bait chuckers out there, I hope you all enjoyed the video as well. What do you think? Do you like our Fire Tiger recipe? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video, make sure to smack that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe for more bait chucking content. And until next time, y'all, you know who it is. Your friend on this end, Michael, out here around these Delta sloughs, reminding you to keep on chucking. I'll get back with you.